Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to my channel. We're going to take a look at your love life and what's your biggest challenge first, and then we'll look at your person. And do they want this? You know, what are their true feelings? And I'll look at Aries through Pisces as well. So stay tuned to the end. I'll get a hidden message and a bonus yes, no. Let's take a look. You could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. A lot of talk, right? A lot of talk, no action at this point. It seems like, you know, we vibe well. When you know, things are good, they're going good. You may communicate with this person, you know, and you get, it's like they always give you some sign that something's looking good or going good because they respond to you. Right? But we want action, right? So what's your biggest challenge? And it could be communication. I'm seeing anger, conflict, and arguments. All right. What a way to start the show. Leo struggling with feeling peaceful with the situation, right? You know, you can't ask questions, or you ask the hard questions, or, you know, we're trying to see each other's perspective, but it does seem like you're up against a challenge here with somebody. That's the Five of Wands energy. It just feels like, you know, it's a fight to get what you're really wanting. You know, it's like, why do you keep poking into my life? Why do you keep poking at me? Why do you know, what is it that you want? But as soon as I confront it, or as soon as I say something to you, you know, it turns out, it seems like you never get anywhere with this person. And it's not, to me, it feels like right now it's just a conversation of needing to see each other's perspective. Because right now, neither of you are even hearing one another. You're only arguing your point. So what happens with this is that, you know, before the person's even finished talking, you're already thinking about the next sentence. There's already defenses up, right? And it seems to me like all you're asking for is some sort of fairness, and you just want some questions answered, right? I just need to know what. And maybe you didn't even see something coming, or, you know, you thought everything was fine, and then next thing you know, it just seems like you're being challenged constantly. So let's take a look at your person. Let's see what's going on, because it takes two to tango, right? Don't be chasing anybody. Don't be chasing anybody, guys. That's at the bottom of the deck right here. So let's take a look at your person and see their biggest challenge. And, you know, let's dive in and ask the real question, guys. A lot of you know, I've been feeling pulled to get everybody aggravated the past week. Let's look at the real truth. Do they want this enough? You know, I hear myself constantly saying, you're hot. You're, you know, they're gonna come over if you invite them. You know, they're there if you're giving them what they need. Even from the male perspective, you're giving a female what they need, what they want, right? They're gonna keep showing up. But the question is, do they want the commitment in the long term and everything else? Do all other values come into alignment? You know, because that can be where the real struggle is, right? There's not a question. Let's see your person. All right, let's see your person. All right, I'm getting the Knight of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. So it says it's an Aries, Leo, Sag energy. It's your energy. And there is a lot of chemistry in this relationship, and you can see it. But you're dealing with two hard heads, or two fire energies, right? And it doesn't mean that your person has to be a fire sign. Again, I am seeing Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But either way, very opinionated and very active, right? So you both are gonna, you know, jump at each other, or jump to conclusions, or, you know, and it seems like it's a very intense relationship, especially here. So it can be very exciting when things are going well, but also a big fat headache when things are not going well. So it's not a doubt that the sexual chemistry is not there. So your person here, Five of Pentacles, right? Really feeling down and out. Maybe feels like they let you down, but they don't want to admit it, right? Or like every time you guys argue or get into a spat, it just feels like they're constantly letting you down. You're getting the fives today, Leo. And fives in a reading talk about challenges, and these challenges that show up. A lot of people don't like the fives, but this is where you see the movement. This is where This is where things happen, and they have to happen. So sometimes we have to get in those tough battles with somebody so that we can get past this, figure out what this problem is and why we can't seem to get past this situation. So your person is looking like they're not feeling too well about the situation. You know, it's like, I'm invested, you know, I've been invested, you know, I've invested time, but it seems like we keep going around and getting in the same cycle, or you know, something keeps coming up that we just can't seem to let go of. All right. So let's see their biggest challenge. The Tower card. You're saying this is reverse. Somebody in the audience is saying this is reverse. And you know something, I can see that, because Leo, you're gonna lose your shit, right? And I know my Leos, right? So the biggest challenge here is you're dealing with somebody that doesn't like change, or somebody that may get stuck in their ways. The Tower card is the challenge. So a Tower card is something that's unavoidable, all right? And like, you may have been trying, or you guys have been trying to, you know, avoid the situation, avoid the hard talks or whatever. And your person here seems to buckle, you know, kind of shut down under pressure, right? Under stress. So I am seeing there is a lot of conflict between you and this person, and it could just be personality disputes. You know, it looks like your person doesn't know what to do to make it right or make you feel better, or, you know, and it could be a financial thing too, guys. That really does scream your person may be just feeling very insecure and not stable right now in their own life. With the Tower card showing up, it's like, but the thing is that this initiation here is your person not taking action. That's what I'm feeling, Leo. It's like you, and this is where you could be calling them out constantly, or there's a lot of tension and arguments, like you feel like it's one-sided. The Libra energy here tells me that there could be, you know, a dispute, like somebody feels like they're always giving more than the other person does. All right. Now I am seeing from your person, though, it's like maybe they don't realize, you know, what, you know, or they feel like they just can't give you enough, or don't know what to do or what to give to make it better between the two of you. All right, so let's see their true feelings for you, how they view you, and the biggest challenge they have with you. All right, so look at this, how they feel about you, the Six of Cups. And I was feeling this. I really do feel like this is a situation where you guys can make this change, this turn this around. All right, but the problem is the Towers here, and it's telling me that something is inevitable. So there has to be a showdown, you know, because somebody is not showing up. Somebody here may have the answers, or may say they want to change, or may say that they hear you. But the problem is, Leo, is you're not seeing any action. You're hearing all talk, and no action. So reverse this too, if this feels sensitive to you, if you feel like I'm triggering you and you're the cross watcher. All right, you know, do as you will, right? I'm always taking in the energy of the sign that I'm here with. But I am seeing here that it's like, I love you, or I care about you, or we've had some good times together, or I have seen us, you know, together. I can see us together. The Six of Cups is, you know what I mean? But here's the thing with the Six of Cups that a lot of people don't call out, is that sometimes when we're confronted with a problem, we revert back to old childish behaviors, and nobody wants to hear that word childish. But again, I'm Captain Call Out this week, and everybody's just getting aggravated with me. I'm going to use myself as an example. When I get pissed off, I leave. I slam the door. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk to you. Don't talk to me. Wait till it's done. Wait till I calm down. That's actually a childish behavior. All right. Avoiding conflict, right? Things like that. So it seems like every time we confront the person, or we confront something, somebody stomps away, or somebody, you know, we just never seem to get past, you know, we never find this resolution. It never seems like it's going anywhere. All right. But it might calm down. We might also, your person or you, maybe you have like let it go, and you're like, all right, we'll just let this one go. We'll, you know, pick our battles. Maybe you're finding yourself picking a lot of battles, and you're finally feeling like this is just too much. Like, I can't hold this in anymore. And that's why the Tower card, it's inevitable. You can only act like everything's okay for so long, and you can keep coming back around, Leo, and, you know, and saying like, hey, I want to give this a go. I'm going to try this again. But you're just pissing yourself off, because every single time you never see any change, you're ultimately going to, again, you know, explode, right? Because you're not finding a way to internalize this this energy, because you love this person. You feel the energy between the two of you, and you think, you know, you guys have this way about this connection where you feel like there's such possibilities here, but why is my person fighting me? So let's see, do they really want this, and you know, and where their next intentions are, and their challenge with you. All right. So I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles, right, showing up. All right. So this is somebody that is invested in you, Leo, right? So I know I'm getting heated. I feel like I want to fight your battle for you, but I don't. All right. But I do feel like you have somebody here who's very responsible, somebody here who really, it could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but I can already immediately see what the problem is. All right. Earth signs, you know, do things a little bit differently. All right. They may take a little bit longer to process things, you know, and they may be a little bit more cautious than a fire sign. Fire sign, you're going to jump in, you don't care. You're going to, you know, deal with the consequences afterwards, right? And if anything gets in your way, you're going to burn it down. All right, that's a fire sign. An earth sign is slow moving. An earth sign is like, I really care about you, and, you know, but it's really, sometimes it just takes a pattern, or, you know, it just, they need a little bit more time to accommodate, or, you know, decide to commit. Because once they do, an earth sign is fully, like, they don't move as fast, so they're going to stay in a relationship longer than they should. All right, but the thing is, though, is that something is coming up for the two of you that seems to be, it's going to hit, you know, I feel it this week, you know, this, right, that we're going into the eclipse season, guys. If you're not facing your issue with your person right now, there's going to be a feud. There's going to be a feud, and you could end up giving up on something. You could end up walking away from a situation that you might regret, right? Because we have to, you need somebody to step up and take action. All right. No more talk. Let's make this work. All right. So let's see, do they really want this? You know, the Eight of Pentacles, of course they do. But your person is avoiding responsibility. Your person is avoiding, you know, maybe they think they're not doing anything wrong, right? Because that, you know, you got a queen here. A queen doesn't think that they're doing anything wrong, right? And are we really? No, we just need to find some sort of accommodation if we're going to be in a relationship, right? So that's the problem here. There's a power struggle. There's conflict, because both of you, you know, think that you have a point, and you're both not seeing each other's perspective. So going back to the main issue here is, it's not that, it's really like, maybe you both are wrong, all right? Or maybe the way you guys are approaching this is wrong, but all you're doing right now is pissing each other off, and you're not getting to a solution. Your person really does want to make this work, is what I'm seeing, but what is their biggest challenge with you? And if I'm pleased with this one, don't get butthurt. All right, if it's not you, it's not you. What's their biggest challenge with you? The Six of Swords. All right, they may feel like you move too fast for them, or you just want to kind of skirt past any problem and just move on. All right, they may feel like you even avoid conflict, or you avoid what they're saying. You're not listening to them. All right, they feel like you may listen to what they're saying, but you don't do anything, or you just kind of say and you move on, right? So you may be coming across like, you know, everything's fine and dandy, and you just want to smooth on past something, but your person here seems to feel a little differently, right? They may actually, I'm hearing too, they may wish that you got over something and would move past something. So maybe that's the problem. You want to deal with something, and they want you to get over something. They want you to move on past something. So I just cleared that up there, because that was coming in wrong. All right. But for some reason, though, Leo, what is your deal? Why can't you get past something? All right. The Empress card is showing up. You're not getting your needs met. All right. It's like you're really focusing on what you need, your values, and you're not feeling like you're getting your needs met. All right, you're not seeing growth. So before I get into Aries through Pisces, I'm going to say one thing here. All right, your person's not meeting your needs. It's not about here that they're not attracted to you. Like I said in the beginning, it's not about that this couldn't grow. It's just that maybe what you need and you want from this person, they're not able to give it to you. The Five of Pentacles, and they feel like they can't meet your expectations. So no matter what they do or say, there's always going to be a problem. So it comes down to your expectations of this person, you know, and whether or not you're willing to sacrifice your needs anymore. And so then you have to ask the hard question, is this my person? Is this my person? you know, because how long have you been going on with this and on with this and wanting to change somebody because you love somebody, but somebody's starting to feel like they're not good enough for you because they're not seeing, you know, because they can't meet your needs. And it's not that you're asking for too much, Leo, because you're the Empress. All right. You're asking for what you need, you know, but what you need, and if somebody else is saying you need too much, there's somebody else that would say you're not asking for enough. So it really comes down to just questioning, you know, is this your person and what you're willing to sacrifice in this connection? And if you already feel like you're about to lose your shit, maybe you're sacrificing too much. And so that's the hardest part of relationships, is realizing if we even love each other, we might have to let each other go. You know, this is going to be difficult for some of you because there's a 6 of Cups showing up in here. All right. So I don't know what to say. I'm not a counselor. All right. So let's see what your advice is. And it does tell me, you know, there's a lot of love here. So it's going to be, you know, how can we get back to the way things were? You know, can we get back to the way things were? Can we accept each other for the way we are? And let's get an advice, and then I'll look at Aries through Pisces. You have Taurus and Libra showing up for you, Capricorn, Virgo. And you're on the right track. I see a hidden treasure there. So although it may feel like you're going through a tower moment right now, it's like you're the Empress. All right, you're battling something big because you're meant to receive something. And if something's blocking you from evolving, it's going to blow up. A tower is going to come in and shake things up until you get to where it is you need to be. All right. So this does seem like, you know, there is room for growth here. So for some of you, I wouldn't walk away from this reading being like, well, shit, we're going to have a tower card and then nothing's going to happen. That's not true. It's the way you decide that you're going to work with this energy, especially if it's not getting anywhere. But I am seeing here that you are on the right track. All right. You are facing a difficult time right now with somebody. So let's see Aries through Pisces. So what to expect this week from Aries through Pisces when it comes to, you know, I can see that somebody truly wants to work something out with you. In this reading, that is saying a yes. All right. You're my home. The 8 of Pentacles to me is like, I'm comfortable with you. I feel comfortable with you. And so let's look at Aries. Aries, I see King of Pentacles. All right. So maybe you got an Aries this week, you know, fire energy, an Aries initiating. Aries may be picking up some slack and may step up to the plate this week for you. Taurus, I see Temperance card. Looks like Taurus is trying to do what they can. They're kind of taking it as it comes. You know, they want this to work. The Temperance card tells me you guys can make this work, but you guys are opposite. You guys are just so different in elements. So it is going to take a constant regulation of, you know, where are things out of balance? What's going on here? So it will take a little time and patience to make this work with you, Taurus, but you guys got this. All right, Gemini, the Magician. You know, so I'm getting good energy with Gemini too. It may be all talk, but it looks like they may take action this week and try to make it work with you. Cancer, I see Queen of Swords. You have a difficult decision. You got to speak some truth with a Cancer, Leo. You know, and sometimes the truth or decision can be difficult. The Queen of Swords is showing up, so it's boundaries and speaking your truth. You know, you may have a decent conversation this week with a Cancer where you may feel like you're being heard and we can finally move forward. Leo, I see the 5 of Cups. Look at the 5 showing up for you again. Oh, 5, 5, 5. All right, so you're going through a really challenging week this week. All right. And it may feel like you feel down and out, like you just don't see any change. And for those of you, you know, truly, I believe that right now we're all kind of shifting towards releasing what is no longer serving us. We're always on that path. Right. But I feel it really strong with these eclipses coming in. And if something is not working for you, Leo, it may be hard to realize, it may be hard to let go, but some things will have to change because it's weighing on your spirit too much, right? But I am seeing here there's a little bit of grief or sadness happening here with you this week, and maybe with another Leo. And it's like, we've got to do something different. We got to figure out a way to turn that frown upside down. Virgo, 10 of Cups. So Virgo want to be with you. Virgo, you know, if they're feeling like look, your Virgo here feeling like, you know, if they pushed you too far, if something has happened and they've pushed you too far, Leo, it feels like they will do what it takes to make it work. I do have a 10 of Cups, which says, you know, we've got our problems, but we'll figure it out. Libra, I see the 3 of Cups. So you see your air signs are really coming up, you know, really nicely. Your Libra here is like, we can make this work. Let's talk things out. So you could be having good times with your Libra this week, maybe celebrating a victory. All right. We have Scorpio. I see the World card, so another closure type of card. Maybe deciding whether or not we need to finally close a chapter, or, you know, this can be a very positive energy too. It's definitely at the end of the road. It's saying we have already done this enough. It's time to find closure. We're done. We're moving on. So for you, it could be psychological or it could be physical. You know, maybe we are ready to move on, whether together or not. It is showing a closure. Sagittarius, I see the Moon card. All right, so there's a lot of emotions this week with a Sagittarius. Things may still feel uncertain. The Moon card tells me that you've seen this before. You've dealt with this before. Your Sagittarius may come around and act like things have changed, but then, you know, you believe them, but your intuition is like, it feels like it's just another go around. I don't know if I can believe the truth. So there is still that coming around. You may find yourself, you know, facing, you know, some emotions, intensity this week with a Sagittarius. It may feel good at first, but, you know, make sure you're not ignoring any red flags with a Sagittarius. Capricorn, 2 of Swords. All right, so there could be an important decision being made with a Capricorn this week. Whereas 2 of Swords says, my heart's there, but, you know, are we being real about this? You know, what's the smart thing to do here? So it looks like an important decision with you and a Capricorn this week. Aquarius, 6 of Wands. Aquarius coming in, returning. All right, it looks like you and Aquarius win the day. This week could be a big, huge milestone when it comes to finally seeing some change or action as you're moving forward with an Aquarius. All right, very promising energy. And Pisces, same thing. Pisces is saying, okay, we got to figure this out. All right, so you may see forward movement with a Pisces this week. Let's see your hidden message from your person. Let me get a couple hidden messages and then I'll do a bonus yes, no. I love you guys. I came right out the gate with Leo today. I was like, Leo's got some fire going on. Man, I'm a Leo rising in Vedic, you know, and so I don't know quite over the years. I've been wondering about that, you know, but sometimes I'm doing your reading and your fire energy just comes right through, right through. And Leo escalates too. And once you get started, you can't stop right away. You can't put the Leo fire out. You're a fixed energy. You know, you can't put that shit out. So if somebody wants to get you going, they better be in for the, you know, the fire. All right. Temptations are affecting your love life. All right, so let's talk about this for a second. Temptations don't always have to be, you know, cheating or anything like that. So don't go there right away. Okay, I don't want you guys to go and go lash out on your person. Temptations are, I would rather play video games than go get a job. You know, I would rather complain about my health and then kick back all day long and then be miserable. Somebody who's not taking care of their self will that'll affect your relationship. It always does. I don't care what anybody says. If somebody's unhappy with themselves, they are not going to show up for you the best way they can. So if they're drinking too much, if they're smoking too much, if they're complaining about their health and they're not doing anything about it, all right, this could really be affecting your love life. If somebody is not, okay, and then now let's talk real. If you're not having sex, or, you know, if somebody's not showing up for you and you're wondering what the hell's wrong, their insecurities getting in the way. I've heard that so many times, you know, from people. It's like, I don't want to, you know, they avoid sexuality because they're insecure, right? But that does, you might not want to face it in reality, but it's affecting the relationship in general. And your person could be, you know, upset about that, you know, so asking some of these hard questions. A spiritual awakening is affecting you both, right? So there's the intensity that I was feeling in this reading. All right. So it looks like something's really going down for my Leos, you and your couples, especially if you're in a relationship. If like, I'm going to hit this a couple different ways. If you're in a relationship and this is long term, you guys are hitting a point where something's got to give. All right, I'm telling you right now, that Tower card is going to say there's going to be shit hitting the fan if we're not going to figure this out, because one or both of you are very unhappy, but you love each other. All right. Now, the other thing is too, is that if you are single or you're trying to connect with somebody and there's a lot of fighting going on, or no action, a lot of talk, that's where I think the temptations are coming in. I think somebody might just not be, they might be just holding back, they might be being lazy. I don't know. Right. But I am seeing a spiritual awakening happening. So no matter what kind of connection you're in right now, you're both wakening up to something you need, something you're not getting, something that's not making you happy. And that's going to cause evolution for you. So on the other side of things, go back to the Oracle, a gift is going to be revealed for my Leos. All right. So after this battle, there's a huge gift coming in for you. All right. So let's look at your bonus yes, no, and yeah. Think of your question, and I'll be doing Virgo next and Libra today. So hopefully you guys will just come hang out with me, keep me company. Angel, I don't know the name of that deck just offhand. I'll look at it later when I get up. I see, yes. Now you have the Knight of Cups and you have Scorpio moon energy. That kind of, I was talking to a friend of mine and she was like, that Scorpio moon is kind of like an eclipse energy. That makes sense. I've been walking my life feeling like that, right? But the Knight of Cups, I see romance, opening up your heart, following your heart. So, if somebody's not on the same page, you're going to feel it this week. You're going to feel it this week, totally. But if somebody really has love for you, something's going to go down and something needs to happen. Sometimes we need to have a battle, in order to get our point across. And I am an advocate for that. It's like you can't stay quiet all the time. You can't be nice all the time. You gotta, speak your piece. Just don't go to jail. Don't get physical. Don't, here's my best advice. Don't, point out their flaws or attack their character. Attack the problem. What's happening? I love you guys, and it all sounds good in theory, right? Until you get in the moment. I'll see you guys soon. And yeah, Angel, I'm not sure. I don't even know if I have the box of these. It's like a cool deck that I got on Etsy. It's one of these kind of characters. I love this kind of artwork. I have several decks that have that kind of fairy type of, looks like the naughty fairy. All right. I love you. You're talking to me. I'm talking to a lot of us, DJ. It's not just you. We all got that fire. I've been watching, I watch certain reels that get me aggravated just so other people can fight for me. All right. Take care, guys.